if we happen to sit together at a coffee shop or something, I would say, that guy reminds me of somebody. And in 10 minutes I would say, I know who it is.
The official dethroner. Yeah.
Oh,
The nubbins off of them.
oh, most of them.
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are ya? Yeah, I know.
From Hike.
Kinda sorta, huh?
Snowshoeing.
Just be careful. I got you.
Another king. Hey, I'm feeling that on WPC these days. Oh, Nina.
Yes.
Nina would go take my chair.
Karen.
Oh, okay.
Quite a few times. Yeah, a number.
We all like each other.
We did. Yes.
Well,
Hi. How are you?
I think I heard somebody Oh, okay. Like Casper face. I know. I did lose some weight. Yes, you did. That is great. Been working on it. Yeah.
this face is my daughter's face.
Yeah. Face. Yeah. We met just a minute ago. How are you? I'm not tiny, but I am tinier than I was. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Well, I know, and you know what?
Well, I like some toes. So, you know, and, thank you, yeah. It's supposed to be. I'm Karen, by the way. Yes. Well, I think that this is started when I went down to it. For a while. All right, I'm gonna
That's on them. That's what they want. Hey, give them what they want. Normally we face the hand.
and Carol Brown.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, we got people going that way too, so. So we up to them again. It's just according to what the people want. Get the people what they want.
I'm Nina. I
I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. Were you sitting here? Okay, thank you. Oh, well, I think I'm going to Discovery Land. I'm going to Columbus.
Yeah, I don't know if she's still.
So just to let everyone know, I'm going to go ahead and turn on. I have masterful control.
Everybody, we need your attention for just a minute.
Just want to let
We
everyone
just need your attention for a minute.
let you know I'm going to turn on the Zoom recording. So if you might not want to control some of your that language that you're using. Exactly. All right, here we go.
So you're saying kind of watch
And we're recording.
Too many. I got one thing.
She would have approved. Yeah.
I think you're gonna get some more chairs. Are we getting more chairs?
More chairs.
More chairs. You mean, I did. More
There's
chairs.
one here.
There's one here. That was mine.
Right. Maybe getting chairs. Here come some people with the ballots. Do we have them?
Yeah, we need more chairs. Is there any way to get a few more chairs?
Maybe three?
Five.
Not sure if they're waiting for a police or whatever. You know, you can question them and see if they
Right over there.
Yeah.
There he is. Don. Don. Can we get more chairs?
Yes. You can take this one. Oh, you're sitting up there. Yeah. And I would feel pretty embarrassed to do so at the moment, you know?
Come on.
Okay.
Come on up here.
That's nothing. Dang, dirt.
I did, yeah, I'm administrator now. 71.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure you walk on
Don't even. Some other time we'll go on the line.
Okay. All right, over cocktails.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
But I'll wait to make sure somebody will sure. I'm okay standing.
I know, those are pretty too. They're both very pretty, but
We did the shaky thing. Yeah.
Oh God.
the mayor of Fresno?
Forever ago.
Don't stand to get it wrong.
Yeah.
No, see some of these going away.
And I didn't hear a crown longer than expected. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The sun's gonna keep moving.
They get the chairs here yet?
Yeah, they did. Everybody's got a chair. Yeah.
No, but holding an umbrella would be wonderful. Don't run. Walk.
Always there with, why can I picture that?
Yeah, me too.
We got us 3 here, and my wife Becky over here. Maybe a couple of jumblers. Absolutely not mine. Becky?
I'm gonna move on this side.
You want the middle there, Bill? Arc up the end.
Small step up. Take small side steps.
Get to work? Yeah.
Playing Trivial Pursuit with her. Except for the only person that should whip her was my mom.
Knowing Carol actually goes back to my national political caucus days, and she's a kind of fantastic member. She was supporting Carol Nett, who was the union caucus, but equally committed to getting him elected to public office, and has always supported him for her presence in his country. And it was amazing as I came to know him. I was able to make a very good judgment.
they have really, among other things, opened I'm not going away, Carol. You or Jess. I'm hanging around, but I really, really thank you for reaching out. He was interested in education, the environment, the animals. That was more important to him. Nature was important. He gave to the arts, he gave to the animals, he gave to save the people. And he gave me more than I can remember. You can never remember. I'm not talking about earnings, I'm talking about what she gave me in love. And I hope I gave it back to her as well. I love her so much. I told her when she died, I still can't keep it. Thank you all for being here. John and Carol. And John, is, I think, with your W. Biggert Memorial. Celebration. Well, I've been with the family for many years too.
She's family we picked after a
Yeah,
while.
she picked. Family picked me. And Carol was the most amazing person ever, woman I've ever met. And she was not one knee told in her body. She loved everything, even the bad people. And I'm really sorry to see her go. But it was her choice, right? She decided that she was done, and she's not looking down. She's just, she's been a firefighter all the time. So don't be scared.
Yeah.
Because she's really, we love you. We love Carol. We love you. So sorry this is happening.
just say that I'm not sure that I was Carol's favorite student in the 70s.
Why not?
But she made me feel like I was. And she saved me from some disastrous academic choices. She became my mentor. She became my friend. She was my reader for my master's degree. She was so many things, and at the time I didn't realize that she was only a couple of years older than me. She seemed to be so wise and so kind and so caring and so sharing. I know one time at Sac State we were having an event, and we were talking about Carol, and she said, "Can you believe we've been together for 8 years now?" And I think that seemed like the proudest moment of her life. She was so happy, and I was so happy for her. The hole in our hearts will always be there. That's okay, because it can be filled up with our memories and our love for her. And I'm sorry to see her go, but I'm so thankful that she was a part of my life and will continue to be forever. And Carol and I will continue to be our friend. And we may come and bother Carol sometimes if she leaves things like this.
I hope so.
So, my Aunt Carol, she will be an adventure, I'm sure she will.
I met Carol shortly after my come up. That was somebody she I remember meeting her. Wow, she was very opinionated, and she never backed down. She was a true defender. She defended people, she defended animals, she defended this country. She did whatever she could to make it a better place for all. And she made my life better, just by being there and being there for my mother. Rest in peace, Carrie. Please.
go on to become a French teacher. That was my dream. That was my dream from high school. And so Carol is the first person who kind of welcomed me into the profession as my methods professor at Sac State. I was very lucky. Most universities do not offer a methods course specifically for people who want to become world language teachers. But I was further graced and lucky with the fact that my professor was a woman. Carol set me on into the profession in a way that was ahead of her time, focusing on meaningful language, the interplay between culture and language in a time when a lot of people, and sometimes today, still were focusing on memorizing vocabulary and rules as if that's what makes people connect. So she has been with me as probably the very first professional person in my journey, and then as a friend, and then as a friend and partner, as I know Christine will talk more about in our work in the World Language Project. And as everybody has said, came to know the wonderful human person that she was and all of the good that she stands for and stood for and supported. So it's difficult to think of my life going on, my career going on without her. She's always been someone we could turn to with questions or just thoughts. So I am very sad to see her go, but for all of the reasons everybody is sharing here, I'm so glad that she will.
I can switch.
Boy, I'm kind of bent. My name is Christine Lanfear, and I'm her professional twin. I did not have the pleasure of having Carol as a professor, but when I moved to the Sacramento area to begin teaching in Thomas, I was part of the local affiliate of the CLTA, and we were approached by the leader of the World Language Project in California about opening up a new site here in the Sacramento area. And Carol Brown was brought in by her colleague, Carol Eberhardt, who was our first director, to come in as a college professor view of what do we need. And eventually when we got up and running, Carol Brown was our first, what's called principal investigator, faculty liaison. And she did that for many, many years until the time when, sadly, Carol Eberhardt became ill and passed away. And Carol and I took on the leadership of the project together. And that was incredibly helpful to me because it was not something I could do by myself. And I didn't have the connections to the university that Carol had. And we did that together for, I think it was 15 years, until she finally decided to really retire all the way. And Nicole took over the other part of the co-directorship. And we were actually the first of the projects in the state that, World Language Projects, that decided to go with a co-director, and several others have now taken that model because it works so well to have a partnership. Carol was also incredibly important to our profession through her work writing DME, through her work in linguistics, and she was our go-to when we were up there teaching other teachers about linguistics and talking about pragmatics and syntax, and we would always go, Carol, did I get it right? And she would go, well, actually, it's the other way around. Oh, thank you. Okay. Like, oh my God, to be in front of her talking about linguistics and going, but just a quiet presence. But when you start going through the list of all she accomplished, including being awarded 2 of our highest honors in CLTA, the Lorraine DeRosso Meritorious Service to the Professional Award and the Hal Wingard Lifetime Achievement Award. All of the things that she accomplished as you put it, Nicole, kind of ahead of her time, having a vision of what language learning is now, and doing that back in the 70s and 80s. And so as a quiet person, she had an incredible impact on our profession, on a lot of teachers, and I'm blessed to have known her and to have worked with her, and we continue to try to implement her vision in what we do.
If you think about all the students of all the teachers that she's touched, the impact is huge.
Well, I'll say something. I would stand up, but I got a gimpy knee.
Don't do that.
Okay. I met Carol through Marion, and for about 3 years on and off, I think we just occasionally, the four of us, did things together. We've been to the Harris Center, we'd go out to meals, we came to your house a lot. But I just found her to be incredibly kind. You know, that was what I saw. Not having
I'll say a quick word. I met Carol back just after my mom would have met her in the 70s, when I was still in high school. She was such a dear, sweet person, and I remember that Mom and Carol were part of our madrigal group, and they got together, and I would go visit and sing with the Mabbies. And then I moved up to the Northwest for nearly 30 years, and when I came back down, sure enough, that friendship was going as strong as ever. And so the four of us, Mom and me and Carol, would go, and Jessica as well. Sometimes we would go out to dinner, and then we'd go out to the symphony. And you just didn't want it to stop because the conversation was so much fun. Her insights and thoughts, and then running into each other at the B Street Theater all the time, being able to talk about that, her love of the arts, and her knowledge and wisdom and insight in holding a fun conversation was such a delight. So Carol, thank you for that. We will be missed.
So my name's Lori, and I met Carol in the mid to late 90s when I transferred to Sac State as a dual major, English and Spanish. Carol was assigned to be my advisor, and she scared the ever-loving.
That's saying something.
I am a pretty confident person. I left her office in tears. And then spent the better part of the rest of my college education desperately trying to avoid her because I was terrified of her. And then I got my degree, I started teaching, I left the area for a year, came back, and ended up at Thomas, where I met Christine, who a couple years into my time there invited me to something called Cap Flip.
Cap Flip at the time, yeah.
At the time. And I was not at all happy to be there. I was the jerk kid at the back of the classroom.
But at least you were honest about it.
On day one. Oh, I know exactly who I am. So did Carol. So did Carol. So day one, I'm sitting in the back of the room and I'm like, it's Saturday, I got a baby at home, what are we doing? Why am I here? And in walks Carol Brown. And I about died. I was like, oh, good. She did, of course, not remember that she had made me cry, but I went up and reintroduced myself and told her the story, and she thought that was the funniest thing she had ever heard. She did. And quite enjoyed reminding me that she could make me cry if I didn't behave for the rest of my time in Capital World Language Project and working with her. I don't cry easily, teacher I became, and ultimately the kind of administrator I am. But I wish I had, because aside from scaring the ever-living crap out of me the first time we met, the conversations I had the opportunity to have with her through our time with Temple were privileged, and those Saturday sessions, which I loved to hate, or needed to love, depending on the day and the topic, those conversations really helped shape me and fine-tune what I was doing in the classroom and how I was interacting with kids and adults, and really framed so much of who I've become. So I regret not being able to tell her face to face, or not having taken the opportunity to have the opportunity in this beginning. But Carol Nutt, thank you for sharing her, and for giving up all those Saturdays.
That's true.
So that we could have just a little bit of her. And she's still scary as hell, I'm just saying. But I did love her.
And you helped coin an affectionate term.
Maybe.
Yeah. It was.
She was always standing in the back of the room with a sort of half smile on her face, head tilted just so, with her, usually with her hands folded or holding onto something, and so I dubbed her Mona Lisa. And so she was our and always will be our Mona Lisa.
When I is that what I know Carol since the mid-80s. I don't know exactly when I met her. I met her through pamphlet or Keep Flags or CLTA. I have no idea. What I remember about Carol, she walked into my classroom at Pastoral Middle School. I was out in the boonies next to the garbage. And she walks into my classroom and, looks around, sits there for a minute, and I'm going, why are you here? I knew her when she walked in. And then after class went out, she goes, do you think you want to have a student teacher? I have a student teacher I can place out here. I'd only been teaching for maybe 5 years. And I'm going, I don't know what I'm doing. Who do you want to place me? And she goes, oh, I think you got it made. And so from then on, she started placing so many student teachers. Some of them succeeded, some of them didn't. But I remember her, always coming to all of our occasions. She was always there, and even after she retired, she went to CLTA. She'd bring Carol Nutt with her, and I got to know Carol Nutt obviously through our Carol Brown. But the two of them together were a pair made in heaven. I'm sorry I didn't get to go see her in the hospital. I kept going, but then life happens. There's other things happening. And every time I see her, and I have to say this, is your dad making follies again? And I go, yeah, this year. He goes, okay, save me 10 dozen. Okay. Each they would buy it and keep them all year long in the freezer.
Wow.
You remember my dad's tamales?
Oh my God, we miss them so much.
So much. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My granddaughter.
So,
We have Christmas Eve.
yeah.
And we've just, there's no, nobody made them like it.
Oh, nobody.
Nobody.
They still don't. My sister tries to get them. But that's the one thing she always said whenever I saw her. Either flag, cap, rope, film, flip, whenever I go to those. Any kind of CLTA. And my dad loved her. He loved the fact that she spoke Spanish. And didn't tell her, even though her Spanish was very, very good, my dad's was, learned in the barrio, right? And she never, ever, ever told him that his Spanish wasn't good. Which Yeah, I take French. Anyway, and he'd always ask, are those two ladies coming to get their cars? Yeah, the ones that speak Spanish really, really well. And even though Tanya would try to speak Spanish, but with my dad and the Smalleys, but it didn't always quite work as well, did it, Tanya?
I don't know why not.
Anyway, they'd always go and I wouldn't be there. And he says, oh, they were here to pick up the 10 dozen tamales. I think it was because Tanya only bought a couple of dozen at a time.
That's probably it.
10 dozen last 3 years. But anyway, she will always be in my heart and always in my memory. Walking in that door my first time. Do you want to be a student teacher or a student facilitator to help student teachers? And doing that helped me become a public teacher as well. I thank you for sharing her with us.
Yes.
When I learn how to make them as well as he did, I will share.
Practicing?
No.
Okay. Good to know. One of the nice things about Carol is we can also have laughter at this.
Yeah.
Jessica is not going to talk. But Carol Brown is loved her so much. And it was like you're around, right? I just can't say the words that you would say, but she was talking. She was hard. So you miss her.
Everybody should put the picture and let's, Dave, you wanna help?
No, I can get up with it. I can get up with the chair.
I know. I'll just stay, I'll just.
I'll hold it here.
Facing
I got it. Oh, well.
Sheridan, grab your walker.
Okay. Let's see, the chair's, yeah, okay, now I'm bracing the chair. We got the chair, right?
I can creak.
Want to take me off, sweetheart?
We do it before she goes in.
Well, Dawn was going to take that through. Or if you want to do it, fine. We got you. It's just a bad one. You know, remember my short arm?
switch it on.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she can't put the rose on herself. Would you mind doing it for her? Good job.
Got the stones in the car.
No, I do not. I left them at home because you want to select it. Okay, so ready? You want it.
Thank you.
The same folks that participated earlier, would they like to participate again? Everybody bend their knees a little bit and pull up the slot. Slowly let the rope slide through your hands.
She has a good, we did, Dave brought one up, a temporary district, hasn't been working. Dude, you've been wonderful, man. And we'll settle the chairs here in a few minutes. We got it. Not a problem.
She did enjoy the thought of scaring me.
She was also a grammarian.
Yeah, oh, yes. Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
yeah.
Yes. And she talked to me about it all the time about correcting me.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it very much.
That was awesome, girl.
I see there's tricks to this thing, huh?
Yeah, we can leave it up.
Did you want to go over and get some dirt and put it in?
No
Or?
end of enjoyment out of